from rental property to rental property to find the next cheapest place to live, and they're withdrawing their children from school. Is that something you experience in your community?
Absolutely. The average length of stay in my district is about 9 to 10 months. Families are forced to move from place to place, sometimes because of economics, sometimes for other reasons. But the fact that we are in this body saying today, well, landlords over here, they'll compete, people will just move around. That shuffling of people, the shuffling of families going from place to place is harming our communities. It's harming our students. It's moving from a student from school to school, never having any stability, never having any continuity. That is not good for our students, it's not good for our families, and it's certainly not good for our schools.
And in fact, we talk a lot about strengthening our schools and strengthening the education of our children, but we do know, statistically, studies show that when a child remains in the same academic institution, the same elementary school, grows with their teacher and their peers, they do better in school overall, correct?
Absolutely. And instead of us helping people stay in their current homes, instead of helping people maintain stability and maintain continuity, we're telling them that, well, if you want a break, you better be willing to move. You better be willing to shift your family from place to place, bouncing around even more.
Well, I appreciate your amendment. And just for one final clarity, what we're saying currently in the bill as it's written is that we hope landlords will transfer on the savings to the renters, but there is absolutely nothing that's saying that that is going to happen. So we're hoping that it trickles down, but we don't know, correct?
No, it's not even a hope. Come on, realistically, who out there watching this, who believes that their landlord is going to get them a break instead of just pocketing the money? They already raised rents once, and they're going to do it again when they feel like it. Because right now we have a shortage of housing, not a surplus. If we had a massive surplus of housing and there's free places to live everywhere and people are competing for the lowest prices, that's a totally different story. I mean, those who have been in Austin, who've been in the legislature for more than a few years, you've watched your own rents increase here. You've watched your own rentals for session housing increase session after session after session. That's not going to change because the market will support it, because they can do it. And what we're asking to do is provide direct relief, not to the people raising the rents, but for the people paying the rents.
Thank you, Mr. Wu. And last time we passed a tax relief bill, I don't recall, in fact, the author could not reference any data that suggested that rents went down. In fact, they've continued to go up consistently every year. So I like your amendment. I appreciate you looking out for 40% of Texans.
Thank you. And look, we had an amendment here. Representative Plessa put up an amendment that said, hey, even if we're not going to do anything else, at least let's just make sure that the relief where we're saying we're providing to renters actually happens. You know what happened to that amendment? We were here, it got voted down. So not only do we not provide direct relief, we're not even going to make sure that some relief actually happens.
Gentleman's time's expired. The chair recognizes Mr. Meyer in opposition to the amendment.